Hey, what's up guys, the Strong Boys 19 here. This is part 2 of me answering your questions from my music Q&A series video that I've uploaded for 2 years, and apologies if my hair looks a bit of a mess, but you know, that's just what it is. It'll look better at some point sooner or later. I've got a couple of questions to start this part 2 off from Billy Bishop. What is your favourite Alice in Chains album of all time and why? To be honest, I really didn't have a chance to listen to their entire discography, but there's no doubt that Dirt has been classified as their very best album. And all I've got from Alice in Chains in my collection is Black Gives Way to Blue on CD, but I would still think that Dirt will always have to be known as their best album. So I apologise I didn't listen to their albums all the way through. I will get to that at some point. And who do you think is better, Layne Staley or William Duvall? Now, as a singer from Alice in Chains, I would still say Layne Staley, because I think his voice is much more better and he brings the overall sound of his voice a bit more power than William's vocals. But don't get me wrong, William's vocals are really good. They do suit the music from Alice in Chains, but I think Layne Staley is a better vocalist. Why don't you like Korn's album Untouchables? I'm not saying that I don't like it. To be honest, I was not a fan of it from the first time I listened to it, but as I kept listening to it, it really grew on me, and I now consider it to be one of their best albums. So yeah, there you go. Who is your favourite vocalist? Freddie Mercury all the way. I think he is just a powerful and heavily strong genius as a vocalist. Of course, I do love other vocalists like John Lennon, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, and Ozzy Osbourne, and Bon Scott, Joni Mitchell. There's too many that I would like to mention, but Freddie Mercury will always be my number 1 favourite vocalist. And he asks, to finish his questions off, what is your favourite Korn album of all time and why? I think it was originally a tie between the debut and Life is Peachy, but for some reason I find Life is Peachy to be my absolute favourite. Of course, it's very dark and intense like the debut album, but there's something about that album, Life is Peachy, to me that I somehow love just a little bit more. It does have some variety on a couple of tracks, and Jonathan's vocals are just, you know, brutal on that album, pure emotional as well. But I would still think that the debut album is a classic, and I also love Life is Peachy as much as the debut, so I would say Life is Peachy is my favourite Korn album. 2 questions from Sexy Beast. When is your next song coming out? To be honest, I have pretty much moved on from making random songs and upload them onto this channel, but the good thing is I do have a second channel, and I will leave a link in the description below for you guys to check out. It's a massive bunch of covers at the moment, but it does have some of my newer originality and a change up of my my taste in music. My own original songs are at a folky side at the moment. And the second question is, what's your opinion on Dave Mustaine's hair? When Dave Mustaine's hair is long, it's always cool, but his short hair at the Super Collider music video, why? What the hell is that? To me, it just did not suit at all. So, yeah, I would still prefer Mustaine with his long hair. quite an unusual question, but at least it's not bad. Question from Moonstar15. Favorite black metal album so far, dude? Brackets apart from Caladan Brood. I mean, Caladan Brood's Echoes of Battle is absolutely phenomenal. Definitely one of the top best black metal albums ever. Well, it's a near perfect album for me. But my favorite black metal album, well, for me, of all time, is Dark Medieval Times by Satyricon. So, yeah. And got a couple of questions from Hogan McFife. Shout out to you, man. What is your opinion on thrash metal? I always really liked thrash metal. Thrash metal had been one of my favorite genres of all time. Not because that it is way too like in your face and has a 100% pure signature aggressive sound, but I also really like it because it can be very interesting to listen to, and it can be really melodic, you know, with a bit of harmony on the guitars and some dark type of material. And he also asks, what type of thrash metal is your favorite? Oh, he put brackets, for example, old school, crossover, technical, modern, etc. My favorite type of thrash metal, I would say like the old school thrash metal, you know, like albums of Anthrax's Among the Living and Metallica's Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets and the 80s Slayer albums. But there's nothing wrong with these modern directions of the thrash metal scene. Of course, you've got Creator and Evil, Havoc. They are all really good bands. I just don't mind any kind of thrash metal. I love listening to. And what things do you like the most in thrash? My answer to that is pretty much like how I expressed your first question. I do like it that it's very interesting, does have some dark elements, can be melodic, and can be huge on variety. And for production, I really like a lot of these albums from thrash metal bands that are really well produced, nothing too loud or too quiet or overproduced. Guitar work is really just fast paced and can be technical as well. Vocals, always loud and in your face. Lyrical themes, very interesting, can be based on a protest or war or just pure hate. You know, there's just so many lyrical themes on thrash metal that I just love. And, you know, thrash metal had been one of these genres I just adore in metal, from the old era of the genre and from the newer era of thrash metal. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I've got to say about these questions, and I will see you guys in the next video, and the next video will be on Classic Albums Revisited, episode number 4. Cheers, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.